Record. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Cluster API release team for v1.11. It's May 6, 2025. This is, what do we say here? This is a CNCF Code of Conduct abided meeting. So if you are in need of saying something, please use the raise hand feature. And keep the participants window open. Oh, wait, no, that's instruction for me. Cool, I'm reading out the stage directions. Um, that's it. All right, cool. Thanks. Hi, everybody. Welcome to our first 111 team meeting. This is usually where we will discuss um, really general high overview issues like the next, like we're cutting a release or some major issue, some major coordination thing like, hey, if you haven't seen this, it'll be helpful to all of you, sort of stuff. But we'll keep things open and have like any time for you to ask any sort of questions you have. So anyway, if you are here and would like to, please add your name to the attending list. If you can't see this or access this meeting notes, which I will put the links for it in the, oh, that's the wrong one. Copy link. There we go. And if you have, there's the link to the document. If you can't access or edit it, join the SIG Cluster Lifecycle mailing list group. And if you're seeing this on the YouTube video, you can find a link to that over on the Kate's developer site in the general community section where all the groups are linked out. And once you join that Google group, that Google account will be able to edit and read this document. All right. With that said, I think it's time to just walk through the agenda. I hope it'll be light. Let's find out. CI team now led by Matt. Do you have anything for us?
I don't have much. I looked at test grid briefly this morning and things look pretty good from a high level, but I will admit that I'm just now digesting all the CI docs. So
Yeah.
maybe there's some details I've missed, but things look good right now. My next task is to actually contact everybody who signed up for the CI team and make sure they're all still with us. And whether or not we want to set up a weekly meeting, I think we should, or if we just want to communicate. So that's where I'm at. CI looks good right now, but I'm still getting oriented and trying to make sure the team is with me and get them oriented.
And since we've got the weird situation where we flip-flop roles, we have
Yeah,
like two emeritus people basically for these roles around. So if you need me to help join in meeting and walk you through some of what I thought I was supposed to do for troubleshooting CI, I'm happy to do that.
yeah,
And
that'd
I've
be
got
great.
some,
I'm sure I
and I
will
have
need
some
some.
recordings from the last cycle as well that you can go check out too. But
Oh, okay. I'll do that. Yeah, that'd be great. Maybe the first meeting, if the time works for you, you could join us
sure thing.
because we're all pretending to know what we're doing here. So
Yeah, um, a lot of imposter syndrome for me on that CI the first few weeks. So like, but then I got into some sort of a groove, and it seemed to work okay.
it
All I
worked
know is
great.
Steven stopped showing up, and he was the emeritus, so he must have thought, he's got it good enough. I'm leaving.
Yeah, yeah. Or else there's no saving this one. I'm out of here. So
All
anyway.
right, is Chandan here to get any status updates for the comms team?
Yeah, I'm here. Um, yeah, all good. I don't see like it's just a starting of the new release, so all good in the Homes team. I need to check with the teams and set up an initial meeting with them.
All right, thank you. Next, I'm going to open up the tasks list for the 111 release cycle. This is an issue. If you go to the Cluster API repo and go to the Issues tab, you can find this. It's issue 12123. I'll put a link in the Zoom chat for you. This is where we're tracking the overall list of things that need to happen for the 111 release cycle. There's a bunch of things that are pending, some PRs being merged, which I probably have like tasks I need to go do on those PRs. But once they're done, they'll get checked off, and that'll help us know that we've done everything. Let's see. The big one that I see here that I don't know who's owning is the cluster cuddle upgrade test thing. So
Yeah, I can
is that
take
something I
that.
need to deal with because it's kind of left over from last cycle? Because
I
I
think
use
that in the past it fell under the heading of that task above it, prepare the main branch for development of the new release.
okay.
So that means it's something either the release leader or the CI manager should do. But when we started the last cycle, Fabrizio just went and did it and said, "Hey guys, I already did this task."
Oh, okay.
So we didn't get a chance to. So I was kind of waiting to see if he was going to do it, but he hasn't. So I could start on that today,
Okay.
if that makes sense.
I would appreciate it, but also I know that if you're just starting to do CI stuff, you've got enough on your plate. So, either way, really.
Um,
Just ping me if that doesn't work and I'll do it.
okay, yeah. If I don't get to it early this afternoon,
Yeah.
I'll ping you.
All right.
Okay,
Yeah, yeah. Sounds good.
good.
All right. It looks like we've got some comm manager things you've probably seen though, because you did them last cycle, right, Shonda?
Yeah, I will do it.
Sounds good. And then there's the first few weeks is just a bunch of um after we do these few administrative tasks, it's just a lot of documenting what the maintainers do to remove deprecated stuff. And then our first big thing is May 20th. So that's a couple weeks from now when we cut the first release. And I say it's a big thing, but it's not that big unless we have a lot of problems with the release notes script again, but I don't think we will because it's been improved a lot last cycle. So, all right. Um, Now we got the improvement board. I made an improvement board. So this is a project. I tried to make this project publicly viewable this time. It is not publicly editable. It is publicly viewable. And can I get a link for that, please, browser? Yeah, there we go. Hopefully everyone can see this. If you are a member of the org, then you can like edit things. But if not, you should be able to see this. What I've done is just carried forward any uncompleted tasks from the 110 improvement task board we have, which is very heavily oriented towards the end-to-end test side of things because there were a bunch of things that I basically couldn't figure out and were just kind of open. And so they're still here for us to either have people figure out and close, or probably more likely to realize these tests aren't flaking anymore. We can close these because they're not relevant anymore, which is what I think will happen for most of these. So don't be overwhelmed from these, Matt. These were kind of my like someday maybe tasks, is what they turned into. But they were the only issues we had that I could say those are issues we could work on for the CI team. So I wanted them on the board. I don't know. This was on the board from last cycle, this security self-assessment. Matt, do you know what the story was with that? Because I'm kind of not sure who's really owning that, other than it's assigned to Jayesh, but I don't know if it's making progress or not.
No, I don't actually. I don't really recognize this one.
Hmm.
Who opened it?
Uh, that's a good question. Let's see. Open
Random
by
variable. Yeah.
random variable. Yeah. Oh,
Um.
from 2022. So this has been kicking around for a while. So,
Oh wow. Okay.
and then and Steven said he could pick it up in March, but that must not have happened. And yeah, all right,
Okay.
cool.
Well.
It'll just keep getting kicked forward. And then this duplicate release note thing, Chana, you know about this because this is you own it. I know you've been working on this script, so
Yeah, this is already done. I'm just messaging Stephen to double check with him. Like,
okay,
uh,
cool. So this is just
it's
a
not
matter of
an
marking
issue.
it closed. All right.
Yeah.
Thank you. All right. That's what I've got on here. We can add more things. If you can't add them, tell me, I'll add them. And this is just kind of like where we put tasks that will make either the process of the release better for future teams or to track tickets that are like real complicated and just need people to dive into when they have time and are looking for work in a release context. This is not where all the minutia ends up. We don't make issues for everything necessarily. We just follow the task list. which now I should go back to my task list.
I have some issue from the docs, like release docs. I will ping you the issue number so
Okay,
that we can.
thank you. Okay, so that's what we've got on the agenda. Now let's open up for questions, concerns, ideas, discussions, needs, whatever you need. I know we have some newer people. There's got to be people who are confused or want to know what they're supposed to do. And I believe I have a release shadow, right? Like that's a new thing for me. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with the shadow person, but I want to make sure I don't neglect them. Uh,
Yeah. Shirayu, am I saying your name
I think,
correctly? That's how you wanted to sign up. So, um, yeah, if you still want to shadow Chris, I think that would be great. We didn't do that the previous cycle.
which I assume is just coming to these meetings, and then if you're able to sit in on the releases, and I don't know what else. I've not done the shadow thing myself.
No, and we don't have it specifically outlined in the notes, I think, but that would make sense. Yeah.
Oh, Swastik, go ahead.
Yeah, hi. So I'm new to the cluster API release team, and I am at the CI Signal release. I'm with CI Signal release team, and I just wanted to know what what are the responsibilities, like what uh, the tasks actually would look like. I have actually gone through the docs that Matt shared with me, and that what are the rules and responsibilities of a CI signal shadow is, but I still wanted to know uh, what the tasks would actually look like. So yeah.
Well, I'm also getting up to speed, but I think at a high level, our job is to monitor test grid and make sure that there aren't new E2E failures. As you know, most Kubernetes projects and especially cluster API are really complicated, and so there's always going to be a certain amount of flakes. But ideally, anyway, so we're looking for something that looks like a persistent flake or a new problem. And then really our first goal is to triage it, meaning just make sure it's either already identified as an issue somewhere in cluster API, and if not, open a new issue. And then once we've done that, I guess we might do something additional to make the maintainers aware that there's a potentially release delaying type bug. And from what Chris was saying, usually that's enough to get someone to pounce on it and fix it. But potentially we can also fix things too if the maintainers are overloaded or not getting to it in time. We can also try and fix problems we find in E2E, and that's the interesting stuff, and probably pretty hard for me as well. Even though I've been working in cluster API for a while, it's always an adventure trying to figure out when something's broken.
Yeah.
But generally speaking, I think we're just supposed to make sure that we notify that there is a new bug, and it's not necessarily on us to fix everything. That's sort of extra credit, I think, at this point.
Okay, so is it like something similar to like quality assurance QA work?
I'm sorry, is there what for?
Something similar to like quality assurance.
Yeah, I mean, generally we're doing software QA here. Um,
Oh, okay.
but it's made a little easier for us because we have that high level dashboard that is test grid that's essentially going to tell us when things go red, hey, something's failing here. And then my impression is we'll dig into the failures, look through some of the logs, see where something's going wrong, go back to cluster API and find that it's probably already a known issue. And so, or maybe it's not, and maybe we add a new issue. So I think that's most of the work we need to do. And then it's just maybe coming up with a rotation, just making sure that between all of us, we're covering it, not necessarily 24/7, but every day we're checking in and making sure the signal's not going south, turning red.
Got it.
That Does that sound roughly correct, Chris?
Yeah, what I'm looking for is a couple of the links that I use for doing that check every day, every week, every couple days, whatever it is. There's First of all is the test grid link, which I've put in the Slack chat there, that testgrid.kates.io. So that'll give you a nice dashboard of like, here's the current tests and whether or not they're flaking or failing. Um, so you see a bunch of things on my screen here. I hope everyone can see my screen because I've been sharing it the whole time. The ones we care about, the ones that say SIG cluster lifecycle cluster API, as well as the -18, 19, and 110 ones. So you go through those four, and then hopefully you're seeing lots of green checks through everything up into the ones that say PR. Ignore the ones that say PR because that's checks that run on a PR, which means if they're broken, it's because somebody put bad code in their PR. So you're looking for green checks all the way down. So like here we have one with a bunch of purples, which means the tests flaked. There are That does not mean that we've got a problem that you need to do anything about, but it means tests failed and then later succeeded. Um, and then the other one that we're looking for is reds and X's, and that means tests failed. So the hierarchy is mostly if you see a bunch of reds, or if you see any reds, like point out in the cluster API release channel, like, hey, we've got tests failing, and then make a GitHub issue, which is report failing tests, which is right there on the cluster API repo. And it'll want a link to the test grid in it, and then just fill it out to the best of your ability, and then link that in the cluster API thing in the Slack channel. So what I do is I say, hey, we got a test failing, then I go fill out the issue, and then I amend my comment to say, here's the issue I created for it. And then the maintainers will look at that and be like, oh, yeah, that's because of XYZ. And they'll fix it. And they'll be like, thank you for pointing that out. Blah, blah, blah. If you have flakes, it's harder to figure out, like, do I need to do something about this? So there you're looking for patterns or like, hey, this test is flaking every day and a half. And you'll note there's multiple test runs per days on most things. So flaking every day is possible where like it fails once, then succeeds three times. And what we want is to reduce the amount of flakes we have because we want to be able to just focus on tests that are actually problematic instead of tests that, um, sorry, tests that are actually exposing a problem rather than tests that are just not well written and fail sometimes and are distracting us from real problems that could be showing up. We want to be able to trust this signal as being true. So if you see those patterns, like this test is flaking a lot and I can see a pattern with it, we can delve more into finding those patterns in like the CI signal teams meetings or whatnot. If you see those patterns, then again, you open a GitHub issue saying this test is flaking. They've got a template for flaky tests, again, filled out to the best of your ability, posted in the API release channel on Slack. And the maintainers will look at it and be like, aha, I think I know why this is flaking a lot, or aha, this is not an issue because XYZ. And then you'll learn, okay, I can ignore this in the future. Hopefully that makes sense. The next level, and the docs are written assuming you can do this, which I think is an incorrect way that the docs are written because it's very imposing. But if you are able to diagnose and fix this yourself, you are more than welcome to totally submit a PR, be like, I got this. I got a PR. It fixes this issue I found. And then the maintainers will look at that and be like, yeah, you fixed it right. Or yeah, you fixed it wrong. Or yeah, you just need this tweak. And then that's ideal because then you're taking work off their plate so they can focus more on developing the product's features. But don't worry about it. Like, especially when getting started with CI Signal, just report, report, report. If you have questions like, should I open a ticket for this? Did I find a pattern? Just put it in the Slack channel, and everyone will help you be like, oh yeah, that's something you should totally ticket or not, make an issue or not. And so no pressure. Just like be like, hey, I'm looking at this thing. Talk to people in the channel, and that's all you need. There is another link I want to share though, and I cannot find it in my. Darn it. There's there's a page that will basically give you an overview of like here's all the failed tests in a period. It's just a different view than test grid that will show you like all the failed tests in a way that you can be like, oh, these tests are failing a lot, and it's very helpful sometimes to have that view as well. Um, I thought it was linked in the documentation, but it wasn't, which is a problem. So I'm gonna have to find that and give that to you guys in the Slack channel. Sorry. Was that helpful at all?
Yeah,
I think I went off too
I
long.
got, yeah.
No,
No, no,
it's
no, no. I
helpful to me.
actually got an overview of what exactly the task would look like. Uh, yeah. Now it makes actually much more sense. Reading the docs was like really confusing.
Yes, I
Since
agree. The docs need to be improved.
I
They're
mean,
not good.
that's something we should take on as well. If we think our own docs are bad, then that's an improvement task.
Yes. Gosh, I can't. I'm going through my own meeting notes here, and I'm like, how did I not link that one dashboard that's so useful? Oh, I know where I can get it. Cluster API issues. If we look for tests, things with end to end in the label. Yeah, and timed out. And is this the one? Yeah. All right. This page is the one I like. So this is the
Oh,
aggregated failures page. This is oof, this doesn't have the right things in it. But this page, uh, I have to like this link is not. I need to give you a better link than this that fills this out better. But this page is used to find like and this is for all of Kubernetes, but it is the aggregated failures dashboard, which you can filter down to just the cluster API jobs, excluding the PR jobs, and you can be like, hey, here's all the failures we had in the last and this thing is real fussy sometimes, so hopefully this works. Oh yeah, I've lost all my filters, but this can be used to filter down into just our jobs and give you like a nice signal of like, do we have a lot of failures today or not? And yeah, when I have the right words in here, it'll look more like this graph where we just have a few spikes and a lot of flat line, which is what you're looking for, and that'll give you a real quick view. Like, hey, we had some tests fail on the third and fourth, and it's been clear ever since, and all the ones that matter. So I will work on getting you the proper link for this.
yeah, this looks really confusing.
It does. But it is useful. That's all I could tell you. All right, so I'm gonna go back to the meeting notes so I'm not confusing people more. All right, cool. More discussion. Okay. Seeing nothing, I'm gonna say thank you all for showing up. I'm gonna upload this to a YouTube playlist and it'll be linked in the notes here, and I'll also post it in the release channel on Slack. If you're not in the Cluster API release channel, join it. And if you're not on the mailing list for SIG Cluster Lifecycle, I suggest you join it. And beyond that, just talk to us in the Slack channel if you're confused or want help or just want to clarification about things. And that's where most of the magic happens is in Slack. So thanks for joining, and we'll be back here next week. And see you then.
All right. Thanks, everyone.
thanks.
Thank you.
Thank
See you
you.
next week.
Bye, everyone.